Okay, question for those of you who have a DS. What made you want to buy one in the first place? I mean, yeah, it has two screens, and it was the very first 7th generation console, and with the announcement of the 3DS, it's likely Nintendo handhelds will carry on that tradition. But what made me excited was the touchscreen. Touchscreens are now standard in a lot of handheld devices, but the DS was the very first one I owned that had one. And what amazes me is that many of the best games for the DS hardly ever use it. So I've compiled a top 10 list of DS games which use the touchscreen the best. Number 10. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. Now I know what you're thinking. GTA Chinatown Wars is the best DS game ever. Why is it at number 10? Well, this is a list of how engaging the touchscreen makes the game, and Chinatown Wars doesn't use it a whole lot, but it implements cracking glass windows, jump-starting cars, and scratching lottery tickets very effectively with the main gameplay, and it keeps it feeling fresh throughout the adventure. Number 9. Ninja Gaiden and Dragon Sword. I'm placing this fairly low on the list as I don't think the controls in this game are fantastic, but I do think that considering 99% of the game is controlled by the touchscreen and that the backdrops are just 2D images for a 3D space, I think it does a pretty bang up job. It's worth noting that this is one of the few DS games that has you holding the console vertically, and it really works. Number 8. Feel the Magic XY over XX. This minigame compilation is so wonderfully weird. It's essentially WarioWare for the DS, but better in my opinion, and even weirder. I have never seen a game before that has had so many names. In America, it's called Feel the Magic XY over XX. In Europe and Australia, Project Rub. And in Japan, Kimi no Taminara Shineru, which translates to I Would Die For You. Why did they have to change the name? I Would Die For You fits in with this game's plot better, as it's about a guy trying to impress a girl. I mean, what the heck does Feel the Magic XY over XX even mean? Is it something to do with the XY chromosomes? So is it to do with sex? Oh, I don't know. Let's move on to number 7. The World Ends With You. I know I keep yapping on about this game, but you would all kill me if I didn't put this in my list. I find it incredible just how many kinds of moves you can pull off on one touchscreen, and how simple the command inputs are. Yeah, sure, they get mixed up sometimes, and dodging isn't exactly a breeze, but it's the touchscreen implementation that makes this game so much of a joy to play. Number 6. Elite Beat Agents. Whilst devilishly simple, Elite Beat Agents has to thank its touchscreen controls for its pure addictiveness. Tapping and dragging, that's all you do, and you keep coming back for more, even though the songs are not great. If you love rhythm games and are getting sick of the constant rehashes of Guitar Hero, then give Elite Beat Agents a playthrough. Number 5. Nintendogs. Let's face it, Nintendogs would only work on a touchscreen gaming device. I mean, petting your dogs with a D-pad wouldn't work. This is one of those iconic DS titles that everyone knows about, and whilst it's more directed at the female audience, I still really enjoy these games. Number 4. Dragon Ball Origins. Talk about an overly used word for titles. It's like the word resurrection. Origins is just used so much, but it does fit in well here as this game takes us back to where the Dragon Ball series began. The touchscreen controls are really fun and easy to get to grips with. Extending Goku's stick is particularly fun. Wait, that didn't sound right. Number 3. Kirby Canvas Curse. When Kirby was just using D-pads and buttons, I always felt he was never as fun to play as Mario. Boy, I'm gonna get a lot of hate comments for that, aren't I? Well anyway, Canvas Curse played a lot differently. Kirby essentially became the round pink version of a lemming, and the objective is to guide Kirby to the end of a level with rainbow streams. The game itself is harmless enough, but this game's Japanese name, Tajikabi, translates to Touch Kirby. Ugh. And it's made worse by how they advertised it. This is meant to be a finger. To me, it looks like a great big giant Number 2. The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Zelda and Link never disappoint. Well, as long as Nintendo's in charge.
Well, excuse me.
And as long as they don't talk. The DS iterations, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, utilise the DS's touchscreen to its extent. Both look fantastic, and they even use the microphone. It's fantastic seeing how classics like A Link to the Past can be updated while still staying truthful to the core gameplay. If you own a DS, purchasing Spirit Tracks is a no-brainer. And number 1, Trauma Center Under the Knife 2. This game was made for the DS. Yeah, sure, there's the Wii versions, but I don't want to dissect someone with a remote. Give me a stylus any day. At least then I actually get to touch the bodies. Man, I have problems. Apparently real-life surgeons play this game. That worries me. It's like hiring a chef whose only experience with cooking is playing Cookie Mama. And you know what the sad thing is? Apparently McDonald's employees are being trained how to cook via Nintendo DS's. How? So basically, moral of the story is, if you're about to go in for surgery, ask your surgeon if they have a DS. If they say yes, get out of there, otherwise they'll start prodding your intestines with a stylus. You would think surgery wouldn't be fun to simulate, but one would think the same about simulating suburb life. Trauma Center Under the Knife 2 is addictive, fun, and it makes the best out of the touchscreen, which is why I believe it to be the best